No. When you win Detroit
Yeah.
and then going to take the break.
Yes.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with Wesley and his big announcement that he won't be competing at the Olympia this year, even if he qualifies. He will be taking at the very least a 1 year off, and he said he won't be stepping back on the stage unless he is confident enough that he's gonna present a physique that's truly competitive, and that too against the top guys of today. So does that mean he's also withdrawing from this upcoming Detroit Pro? Well, that's not confirmed just yet.
Olympia this year won't happen.
You really can. You qualify in Detroit and then you don't.
Yes.
Go?
I don't want to do
He already
Detroit.
said that, but I was like,
Do you believe him?
yeah, I believe him.
Can I say it?
Really?
If he says something, he's
But Wesley wants to potentially win that show and then take time off so that he starts that improvement phase on a high note. Now he's gonna face Matt Grego at this upcoming Detroit Pro. And if he actually commits to doing this upcoming show, it's not a guarantee that Wesley is gonna win it, because Matt is that same guy who just beat him at this past Arnold. Now everything that could have gone wrong during that peak week at this past Arnold, that actually did went wrong for Wesley, because getting diarrhea just a few days out of the show, that can be so dangerous. And not only him, but also Mike Sommerfeld, the winner of this year's Arnold, he got into that same kind of situation.
The longest time I've ever slept on an airplane in my life.
Because you was so.
Yeah, I was
up.
so sick, and I kept drinking the oral rehydration salts like every half an hour, like a few 250 mils of water with those salts in there.
So this was like a wake-up call for Wesley Wizards. Now the question is, can Wesley really improve his quads, considering that he has already maxed out that classic physique weight cap? Well, the only way to balance things is to downsize that insanely huge upper body, because the quads, in my opinion, just aren't gonna get bigger, especially with that weight cap hanging over his head. And now that Wesley has decided to take the entire year off, he should definitely give the men's open bodybuilding a serious thought. Yes, I know there won't be any instant gratification in the toughest division out there, even if he switches over. I mean, Wesley is still top 10 in the world in classic physique, and we do not know whether he will ever be able to do that in the men's open class. But the overall physique, that will definitely go in the right direction, and that will definitely be a lot better.
I also used the wheelchair all the way until we pretty much got to the rental car, and that's when I started to feel, acceptable. I could walk a little bit, but still felt quite terrible. So
Hostile just dropped some Sherpa-lined zip-up hoodies and forced hooded jackets. So do check them out and use the code FAZI10 to get 10% extra discount. So we are getting to see more and more of Sergio Oliva Jr., as he's now under 4 weeks out of this upcoming FIBO Germany, which is the first ever FIBO, and also the first show for Sergio Oliva Jr. after almost a gap of 2 years, and he has finally reached towards the end of the dieting phase without facing any problems, unlike last year when he got injured. Now Sergio has never looked this confident in the past couple of years or so about his prep and the look that he's trying to bring, and also the belief in his current coach Stefan. That is probably the biggest reason that has given Sergio so much confidence in himself. So the last time Sergio was this confident, that was when him and the mutant Nick Walker, they were prepping for the Arnold back in 2021, and Sergio thought that he will be fighting for the win, but he placed way below his own expectations. So the midsection on Sergio, that is looking pretty good. The legs are gonna be at their all-time best, and if Sergio can actually get truly peeled and really shredded, he can be really dangerous, because the man is one of the biggest guys in the men's open division right now. So his last show, that was Cali Pro, back in 2023, that physique was very underwhelming, and never at any point during that show was he able to dwarf any of those guys, especially a guy like Tony Burton, who weighed less than 200 pounds in that show, and who was also the winner. But rest assured, this won't be an easy win for Sergio. James Hollingshead is doing FIBO Germany, and James is most probably gonna get better, especially in comparison to this year's Arnold, as he competes more and more. Now interestingly, both Sergio and James, they are being coached by Stefan. So it's gonna be a win-win for the coach. So do you guys see Sergio making it to this year's Miss Olympia stage? The guy who became the biggest star in classic physics division at this past Arnold weekend, and in Chris Bumstead's words, the most classic looking guy in this year's Arnold lineup, Logan Franklin, is right back to work, looking to improve that physique even more, especially his back, for this upcoming Miss Olympia. Now Logan always had this vision in his mind, that he's gonna be the face of classic physique category, and it took him almost 6 years to be in that kind of a place, where all the bodybuilding fans and classic physique fans, they're considering him a top classic physique guy. So the task right now is simple, but at the same time very difficult. He has to make improvements in his back, create more back width, as that was one of the biggest reasons Mike Sommerfeld beat him at this past Arnold, and also bring a more mature, more denser looking physique, especially at the Olympia later this year. Now Logan was 3 pounds under the weight limit for the Arnold this year, so the guy is almost right there in terms of his weight cap, and he's gonna be on the dot for the Olympia this year. So the condition that Logan was able to bring to this past Arnold, that might be one of the best by anyone in classic physique division. And I must say, we have to find a different word than peeled for that kind of condition, because that is exactly what made him stand out so much in this year's Arnold lineup. Now the man always had a great shape, and that peak week transformation posted by his coach Patrick Tour, that is a living proof that how a physique totally changes within just a few days. And even that 1 pound weight difference, that makes drastic improvements in the overall look of the physique. Next up, we have an update from Nathan D'Asia, the prophecy. So that is a deep off-season look for him, as Nathan has been hitting 300 pounds peak off-season weight almost every single year now. Now Nathan is obviously eyeing Dubai Pro, which is happening in June, so he still has got plenty of time to get insanely ripped inside out. And Nathan is one of those guys who gets in shape extremely fast. So $140,000 prize money for the winner at Dubai Pro. Now that can be life-changing for anyone who is gonna win that show. And obviously the defending champion Behrouz Tabani, he is 100% gonna be returning to defend his title. Now Nathan D'Asia has put on plenty of size in these past few years. He's one of the most experienced IFBB pro right now, competing today. And honestly, if we take a look at the physique that Nathan brought to the stage last year at 3 different occasions, the man looked pretty damn impressive and very competitive. So that Italy Pro version, that was by far the most impressive one and the most powerful look to date. He really had Behrouz Tabani in the density department in that show, and he was definitely more muscular than Behrouz, at least in certain areas like the chest and the shoulders. But the wider waistline, that cost him that competition. Now if Nathan can bring that kind of hotness with a smaller waistline, he could have a real chance here at this upcoming Dubai Pro. Now Nathan has been able to improve his hamstrings over the years, so this will be a good season for him. Next up, we have an update from the Persian Wolf, Hadi Chopin. So all hell is gonna break loose if Hadi announces that Hani Rambod is still coaching him for this year's Miss Olympia, as this will most probably be one of the biggest guru wars of all time, Chris Aceto and Hani Rambod. And Derek clearly wasn't happy with the way the Olympia prep went, especially the way it ended for him, as he openly discussed this numerous times at this past Arnold weekend. Now Hadi Chopin might still be the most dangerous bodybuilder on the circuit, and the reason is his consistency, especially with nailing that peak. Nobody said he was off at the Olympia last year, and even if he wasn't as good as the Arnold Ohio last year, the man still convinced the judges to have the scores tied after the prejudging, and Hadi wasn't impressed with the competition at this year's Arnold. Now you better believe that Hadi Chopin taking the whole year off, that only means one thing, that he's gonna put his all into this year's Olympia prep. So after watching the results of this year's Arnold, Hadi most likely won't be trying to come in bigger. Conditioning will always triumph over size, and Hadi's version at the Arnold Ohio 2024, that was as close to perfection as it gets. And that is the one that Hadi Chopin must be looking to duplicate. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.